Hi there, how was your day? How's your day been? If you're seeing my face for the first time, I'm Zachary, the host of Zachari's Corner. It's nice to have you with us. If you're joining us for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please do, and also hit the bell icon so that you can be notified when we post new videos and all. And then you can also check out our previous discussions so that you can have a good background on the things we're going to be discussing today. Okay, first of all, I want to thank everybody that has interacted with the last video. It's really encouraging. Some of you that came to the Telegram platform, that joined our Telegram platform through the link in the description, I really appreciate you. It's been fun talking with you guys and throwing ideas back and forth. So we're going to be discussing some of the opinions and questions from the Telegram platform and also from the comment section below. So enjoy. We're going to start with the opinions. There are a couple of things that people said concerning the last video that we did, and the last video was kind of me trying to establish a holistic view to the question: is it the parent or the child? Like, who is more responsible for the child's outcome, or the outcome of the child's life? Who is really responsible, the parent or the child? I said the child has a part to play and the parents have a part to play. So we have a couple of opinions that I want to sample today. The first is, it is largely the child that determines the outcome of his or her own life. That is, one of our viewers commented that it is largely the child. Didn't say it is only the child, he said it is largely the child. That means the child has the bulk of the work to do. Because at the end of the day, like I said in the video, you are the only one who makes choices. You're the one who will eventually make the choices. Whatever you do that will get you in trouble, whatever you do to change your life, is your choice, not your parents' choice, not your friend's choice, nobody's choice. You don't get to blame nobody. It's you, it's yours. So yeah, it is largely the child. Second is, the child is responsible for the outcome. That's the second opinion now. She said the child is responsible for the outcome of his or her own life, but the parents form a foundation of the child's thinking pattern and mindset. And that is really true. That is really true. That's one way to look at it. Okay, if you're going to say the child will eventually make the choices and all that, the child still gets to make choices based on their experiences, which is not really right. I said it, don't make your choices based on experience alone. Your experience might not be the best, judge. It might not be the best thing to tailor your choices to, or to use as a standard for making choices. It might just be the wrong choice you make based on experiences. But she actually does have a point. There is something called conditioning. There is a way your child can be so used to certain things and they just associate them with other things, thereby creating a thinking pattern and a mindset. For instance, you'll have seen when people who have been subjected to serious bullying and maltreatment and abuse, they can so much as associate a very sudden raise of the hand as an attempt to slap them. They just associate my raising of hand as a dirty slap is coming and they flinch. So that is an example. That's the picture of how your constant actions can shape a child's thinking pattern. If you're always yelling at the child, calling the child names, the child might just continue thinking of themselves as not worth anything and all that. So it can really affect how a child thinks, thereby still affecting the choices they eventually make. So parents do have a large role to play, and that is no small truth. And I agree with that opinion. And then the last opinion, which is one of my favorite opinions, the last opinion that I'm going to feature here is, he said, our generation is the last line of defense. Let me read the way he said it. Our generation is the last line of defense against the ideals, the new ideals that these kids of nowadays are bringing up. See, have you ever been in a school or in a setting where they'll tell you that, secondary school especially, they'll tell you that your set is the worst? They tell every set that. Just so you know. And then it seems like the standard of relationship between parents and kids is deteriorating, is reducing drastically. It's becoming worse and worse and worse. So our generation is the last line of defense. We need to get this right so that our children will not suffer what we are complaining about now, because all of us have complaints, all of us have things that we want to talk about. We're going to answer 2 questions from the Telegram platform. That's the only place I got questions from. I checked the comment section and I didn't see any questions there. So all our questions are from the Telegram platform. If you want to join the Telegram platform again, the link is in the description below. So our generation is the last line of defense. This is urgent. We need to fix this ASAP, as soon as possible. We need to fix this soon so that our own parenting will be better. Our children will have, a better experience growing up and all that. And then kudos to the parents that are doing really well now. Some of our parents really deserve a lot of accolades. They really tried, and then some of us don't appreciate them until you see how other parents train their kids. Then you'll be thankful for yours. All right. Sorry about that. We're going to go to the questions now. The questions are really. Some of the questions were really heartbreaking for me because they were real questions. They were real questions from real people who have real issues or real experiences. I'm going to be featuring two of those questions. The first is two of them are kind of alike, but I like the dynamics to it. Yeah, the dynamics of the question. The first question is, how do I deal with abusive parents, especially in this part of the world? This part of the world being Africa. We're in Africa. I'm a Nigerian, in case you cannot tell. Okay, you can tell probably because of my skin color. That's racist, by the way. So, how do I deal with abusive parents, especially in Africa? For those of us who know how African parents are or Nigerian parents are, you probably have seen a lot of memes about it and videos about how Nigerian parents are. Well, it is true. That is exactly how they are. Like, it is true. Nigerian parents or African parents, kind of, they're beautiful people, and they do not. We don't have that Western that Western privilege of talking things out. We don't do that. No, not here. But that's not what I'm going. I just wanted to give you a vibe to it. So African parents are really assertive. They don't have to explain to you why they beat you. They don't have to explain to you why they do things they do. Most of them. Some of them are really beginning to adjust right now. But yeah, that's how it is. African parents are just a whole different vibe. So how do you deal with African parents? Okay, how do you deal with abuse, especially in this part of the world? First thing I'm going to say is accept them for who they are. Love them. Just love them for who they are. They are human beings. Most of them are being very, very sincere, trying to train you in the way you should go, trying to keep you from making the mistakes they made. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. First thing I would say, I don't have time to really elaborate on this point, but you can really try and listen to, see the motive, right? It's a better way to put it. See the motive and not just the action. Sometimes they're being honest and sincere. They don't mean it. When it's yell at you, sometimes they don't mean what they say. And if they do, it doesn't make it true. You understand? So try and see past the actions and just love them, accept them because they're your parents. There's nothing you can do to change that. Second thing I would advise is talk to them. Talk to them more. If you can. There's some parents you can talk to. There's some African parents you can talk to. And then talking to them can really be, it depends on the parent, like I said. You can talk to some of them. Mom, Dad, there's something you did that really hurt me and I want us to talk about it. You can really do it. It's possible, yeah. Somebody is watching this video now and they're laughing like, this guy doesn't know what's going on. You can talk to your parents. Third thing is grow up. Now, do you know that some families, they don't see you as grown until you get married and you do stuff like that? Some of those things stop. Sometimes it doesn't. Don't take it for granted that when you get married, they'll stop sending you weird errands. But they're your parents, so honor and all that. But you need to grow up. There's some things that they do to you, not just because they want to train you, but because they don't think you're mature enough to handle some things yet. So you need to prove to them, not by doing bad stuff, but by being responsible, be more responsible, be more industrious, do stuff, like achieve stuff on your own. Earn money if you can. Don't just sit home and be shouting, yeah, abusive, and you're not adding anything to yourself. It can be part of the reasons why you're going through what you're going through. So learn stuff. One day you should just tell your parents you achieved something without them knowing about it or paying for it. They'll be like, wow, a big boy now. Big girl now, too, to avoid backlashes. All right, so grow up. 4, find yourself. Find yourself here means you need to develop an identity that is outside of your experiences at home. Dealing with this thing I'm not just going to tell you how to deal with it as in how to make it stop or how to reduce it. I'm going to tell you how to get through it, because at the end of the day, that might be the reality. Some of us are not going to get out of those situations. We're going to grow out of it. You get? So don't let it form a basis for your thinking. Don't let it be the standard of your judgments. Not all parents are bad and they are not evil people. So find yourself, get a goal, get a focus, make sure that you are still goal oriented. Don't live in the moment. You have a mind that can leave, the confines of your present experiences and think why. Just envision yourself in a better place. Find yourself. Find who you're meant to be and stay true to that irrespective of what you're going through. I know it's difficult. Some of you say it's easy to say, trust me, I know what I'm saying. There are situations that will not, that you just have to find yourself in. Don't let it define you. Define it. That kind of thing. So 5, don't lose hope. Some people, the reason they really become broken by these things is that they never see themselves outside of this abuse. Come on, you're going to grow up. One day, it's going to stop. One day, it won't. That day is the day you should live for. I'm not saying the day you can beat them back or talk back at them. That is bad. It doesn't matter that your parents. There's some things that they can be wrong, but you trying to correct them is wrong as well. Trying to correct them is not. You can make them see reasons you don't try to correct your parents. They're your parents. Come on. You're going to be a parent one day, so you understand what I'm saying. I'm not a parent yet. But I don't know. Don't ask me how I know, please. Just don't ask. Don't lose hope. One day you're going to get out of that situation. One day things are going to get better. The 6th one, Jesus, the friend. Jesus can be your friend. See, one of the ways to get through abusive situations is to have a friend that you can talk to every time. And that's Jesus. Jesus is not bound by space, time, or distance. He can always be there. If you believe in him, if you've not accepted Jesus, please do that. Do that. He's the only one that can help you get through this thing unscathed. That is the only way you're getting through this. This is the only way you're going to survive. So Jesus is your friend. You need to find a friend in Jesus. And then I'm not missing words. Jesus is what I said, not in some imaginary friend. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's how to deal with it, especially in Africa. Second question is, sorry about that. Second question is, how do I handle hurtful things done and said to me by my parents? Now, both questions are abuse-based. Did you know that Africa is one of the leading, no, scratch that, Africa is the leading continent in child abuse and child neglect and all that. And child abuse doesn't just mean you slap them, you beat them, it doesn't mean sexual abuse alone either. It can be emotional abuse. Some of the things that parents do to their kids nowadays is classified under emotional abuse. One of them is emotional blackmail. That stuff that mothers do is emotional abuse. But we have grown thick skin. It's now normal. You like, mommy. And then that's how you grow, and then it forms the basis of your mindset. Then you start using it on your kids. Only thing is, your kid might not have the kind of mindset you had when you were growing up, so it can affect them adversely. Shouting at children unnecessarily. You don't always have to shout. So all these things are abuse. So this person said, how do I handle hurtful things said and done by my parents? I would say, first of all, okay, and then she added a clause. How do I handle hurtful things said and done by my parents, especially when talking about it is not an option? You can't talk about it because you vetted or you verified your parents. You know that these people are not going to hear me out and all that. Probably you tried it before you went south. You came back with a bump on your face. My first answer is, if talking about it is not an option, don't talk about it. Just the other things you can do. The first thing is, don't talk about it. Yes, that's number one. Second thing is, if you need to identify abusive patterns and triggers. You can solve the problem without necessarily talking to them about it. You can study the patterns. Like, find the abusive patterns. Okay, whenever I do this, they do that. Or whenever I say this, they say that. They don't like it they don't want it when like I said, I'm trying to help you get through this thing. I'm not trying to save you from it, because I wouldn't advise anybody to pack up their load and out. No, you might not survive the night. So you really need to develop a thick skin and get through it. There are ways you can. You can join our Telegram platform and always talk about it. You have a community there. First thing, don't talk about it to them if it's not an option. Second thing, you need to find and identify patterns, abusive patterns and triggers. What triggers these things? What else? Third thing, love them and be the strong one. Now, love them and be the strong one here doesn't really mean you should just become hard guy. It means, like I said in the beginning, accept them. They're your parents. Love them. Love conquers everything. Love conquers everything. I don't know why I'm just saying love. I think somebody needs to hear this. Still love your parents too. One day you'll be a parent and you might do the same thing. And you're complaining now, you don't really know how good of a parent you are because you've never been one before. Yeah. Next thing is, talk to someone about it. You don't have to talk to them, but you can talk to someone about it. You can find a friend, a pastor, a big brother, somebody that you trust, not just anybody, and talk to them about it. If you can't talk to your parents, you can talk to other people about it. Okay, final and grand advice. is pray and forgive them. Pray. See, pray, pray, pray. You need to pray. There's certain things that I might not even be able to understand. There's some things you can't ask people. There's some things you can't talk about. There's some things only you know. There's some things that will never leave your mind. Is just there. My advice to you is pray. Pray about it. Talk about it. Pray about it. Pray about it and forgive them. Sorry. Pray about it and forgive them. Because if you don't forgive them, tendencies are you're still going to make the same mistakes. You're going to be like them. You're going to be exactly them. You're going to reflect them to your kids. Reflect them to your own offspring, and that is something you wouldn't want. So that would be all for today's video. I'm sorry if I didn't really capture all I wanted to capture because time and all that, but like I said, you can always drop your comments, your views, your thoughts in our comment section below or on the Telegram platform. And the next video is really going to be focused more on the parents, because I feel like the kids have spoken. We don't really have much of parents on our Telegram platform, but we can always just outsource things that, and then if you have an example of things, that's what the next video is going to be about, things that parents do that affect their children adversely, affect them badly, it makes us feel bad, and they might not be aware of it. So please, you can drop stuff like that in the comment section below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.